What's going on, guys? This is Suka Anime back with another video, and today I will be bringing you what if Zuko Midoriya Deku had life after death. Now, last time I went over the USJ as well as the sports festival, and ended it off right before the internships. I'm gonna say that most of the internships are the same, except yeah, I mean, Ivy Girl is mainly just a replacement for Mineta to replace the space, not in a literal sense, as in like personality wise. She's just filling the gap. Tetsu kinda fills the gap of Doria, although he is quite different in a lot of ways. Tetsu and Kamina, Kirishima. How could I not? Why can I not think of Kirishima are pretty much best friends now because of their quirk similarities. They vibe over that. I mean, I guess in the Hero Society, who wouldn't having a similar quirk, I guess, probably considered pretty dope by most. Anyway, Ida is gonna go the same, and everyone else is gonna go the same. Except Tetsu is gonna go with, who Deku went with. He's gonna go with whatever his name was. I cannot remember the name of the guy. The old guy that was a friend of Nanashimura or something. That's the previous holder of Wonderful All. Deku's, All Might's master. Honestly, cannot properly remember their name. I think I got it, but I'm not 100% sure. I really cannot remember. Well, Tetsu pretty much arrives, and I'd say that Stain and Deku would have, per Deku's request, pretty much says to Stain, let's, they don't permanently cripple him. They just kind of, I'd say he loses one of his arms, but, it's better than permanently being crippled. You can still be a hero with the after the loss of an arm, though it is a lot harder. And I guess you have to work a lot harder to actually be able to manage it. Tenya Eater is still kind of after revenge, and he will go after revenge. Tetsu does the same training as Deku, but kind of does it a lot better. I think he had 20% control over it last I said. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it to now. I'm gonna say now it's 25% he can use because of the training he did with the old guy, the jet hero, with the jets at his feet or whatever it is. Ina will be attacked. I'd say that both, let's say Native and some other random hero. Well, I'll make it 2 heroes that are getting attacked this time. They're both kind of lying there about to be finished off. Ida runs in as I'm gonna get my revenge. And Ida even notices, so it is true, because I'd say the news would have theorized Stain having an accomplice. And Ida's oh, it's true, you do have an accomplice, but then notices, oh shit, this guy looks to be a kid, maybe my age. He's going around murdering heroes with what he considers to be a villain, but I do kind of consider Stain a vigilante, because, yeah, he taking away, the rotten people of the rotten heroes of society. I'd say um, I'd say that Deku's also kind of using swords, and if he gets any blood, which he will, he gives it to Stain. Ida's about to be finished off by Deku this time, and Tetsu runs in, and let's say Bakugo as well. Then Bakugo sees him, and he kind of yells, Deku, kind of thing, and charges at him. And Deku kind of says, because let's say Deku explained Kacha to him, and Stan is like, "Oh wow, this is, oh look, it's one of the truly worst ones of them all. One of the truly worst fake heroes. Claims to want to become the #1 hero, but then bullies people into suicide." This kind of surprises Tetsu and Ida, because they heard that, and they heard him talking about Bakugo like that. Ida's gonna get killed off because Deku still kills him. Todoroki comes along and pretty much beats Stain. And I'd say after, because I'd say the Nomu attack would just still have been done, but not directed at Stain. But like, they kind of get Stain's attention. And because Deku's kind of his protege as well, that's what he kind of considers him. Protege, successor, almost his own child. Because did I kill off his parents? I like killing off Deku's parents. I can't remember if I killed off his parents. If I didn't kill his parents off already, they're dead now. They just died in a random villain attack, let's say that. If I haven't already killed them off in whatever way. If I have, say, please, I cannot remember. But his parents are officially dead, because, like, he couldn't really be doing all this stuff with Stain if he had actual parents that worried about him and stuff. So his parents are dead because they'd just be in the way. Tenya Eater is killed, Endeavor never arrives. Pretty much Stain goes to the place where the Nomus originated with Deku, and he says, "You started this, why?" And Shigura, he says, "Why we wanted your attention. We want you and what seems to be a protege to join us." Stain, Stain is like kind of reluctant, but Deku says we may as well go along because we want to eliminate filth. If they could reveal some stuff now about themselves, making it a lot easier to kill them later on. And I'm gonna say that All For One is actually here this time, and knows of Deku's life after death quirk. He pretty much knows that it's pretty useless, but yet he's so strong, as well as Stain. And he decides to give Stain a quirk. Stain is going to get I'd say weak fire control, just because I can give him that. And it just helps. And he's gonna give Deku the ability that, like, if he consumes, it's like Sun Eater, I think, Sun Eater's ability. Because that's what Tamaki calls himself. Like, if he eats something, he gains its abilities. For Deku, this is going to apply for humans and their quirks, as well as other stuff. But I'd say the animal side is only going to work for a short for like 2 animals. And he's going to eat an octopus and a crocodile. giving him scaly tentacles that he has to control, and he pretty much permanently has those, but cannot inherit any other animal's quirks. But he also has, he can, or animal features, but he can acquire humans' quirks by taking a bite out of them. I think you can see where I'm going with this. I am kind of turning him into Koniki through quirks. He's pretty much, he's immortal. He's immortal, but he also now is pretty much Koniki. He does not have the healing factor Koniki does, but he's got the Kagane, because I know I can do it. In the end, Stain says, I truly appreciate what you've given us, and we decided to hear you out, but our goal is not to kill All Might. We go after I don't know if you noticed, but we go after the rotten, the fake heroes. I'd say that, Kachan is gonna lose one of his arms as well, because I guess that's the easiest way for Stain to leave a good old lasting message. Bakugo's kind of like, oh shit, like the kid that committed suicide because of me. Well, I mean, while it awakened his quirk, he became a villain. Bakugo thinks he became a villain when he's kind of a vigilante more. Because, though it's not been published on the news, Stain has actually killed villains as well. Because he eliminates filth. I don't know if he'd describe that himself as eliminating the filth, but I don't know if that's how he describes himself, but that's kind of what he is. And that's just the easiest way to label him. Shigaraki's kind of pissed at this. I'd say at this time, Muscular and, all of them, I'd say only Muscular was a part of it right now. Darby is still kind of going to be inspired by Stain, and is aware that Stain is a protege, as well as everyone else that was kind of inspired by Stain. So I'd say Spinner, or whatever his name is, Toga and Darby, they're pretty much going to join the side of Koniki. They're going to be, pretty much they'll leave, if he ever joins the League of Villains, they'll leave with him. Or if he ever joins and leaves. Pretty much, after this, because Deku kind of goes home, because he does still have the house, I think. Stain goes to wherever he lives, if he lives anywhere. I don't really know if he had any housing. But, pretty much, Muscular kidnaps him on the orders of Shigaraki, and Jason style tortures him, cuts all his fingers off again and again, then just kills him, reversing him 30 minutes, and pretty much, eventually, Deku's hair flops. I'm gonna say turns red, because I don't want to completely rip off Tokyo Ghoul, because he's not even a ghoul. But, it says his hair's gonna turn red, and eventually he's just gonna stab, it's pretty much the Jason fight. I don't know why, I don't know why or how I ended up ripping off Tokyo Ghoul, but I'm gonna try to steer back to the original story more, or along the lines of it. He probably will take a decent large part in the overhaul arc. Shit, yeah, that was, I can't be bothered editing. I guess that's just in there. Didn't even see what it was properly. Right, so Deku eventually snaps, kills Muscular, takes a bite out of him, calls him disgusting, and then just stabs Muscular through the heart, killing him instantly. There's no Juzo Suzuki in this, so there's no reason to leave him alive. He's gonna maybe have a similar backstory, like, a very corrupt hero to when Muscular was very small, he was working with whatever gang, and a corrupt hero kind of did the same torture on him. But since he has like the kind of the muscle manipulation, he can kind of regrow it, I'd say, because I don't know, I'm just making him have the exact same backstory as Jason. I have no idea why. Pretty much, Muscular's dead now. Muscular's death is published on the news. I'd say he got yeeted into the street, nearly landed on some people, but didn't. Kota knows that that Muscular was the one that killed his parents, so now I guess he looks up to vigilantes, doing what the heroes could not, as well as, I guess, doing what the heroes could not, as well as, just generally avenging his parents. Stain is aware of. Stain kind of goes looking for Deku. Eventually, he finds Deku after all the changes that has happened to Deku. Deku sort of lost his sanity a little bit. I'm gonna say that Stain decides to go after League of Villains for what they did. Deku warns against it, but in the end, Stain is beaten badly. Pretty much left in a ropes tied to a lamp on pretty much what happens to be a usually busy street, but it's the dead of night and there's very few people around, and he won't be found for at least 30 minutes. Deku decides, they obviously have power. It's best that you probably should join them. After everything that happened, at this point, well, people Team Eater's brother is out for revenge, and he's made aware of Stain's capture. They questioned Stain, and all he told them was, they captured and tortured my protege. I think he may have even lost his sanity from it. I would watch out for him. He is dangerous and much more powerful than I, without a doubt. And yeah, he pretty much says that he was getting revenge for the torture of his protege, and warns them. I'm pretty much just saying in a more quick way. He just said, if I do repeat myself a lot, I think I might repeat myself quite a bit, but I try not to. Sometimes it's just me rephrasing or trying to explain it better, or thinking if I missed something, I don't know. Let's say that Ingenium out of the rage kills Stain. His hero licenses were revoked. The incident is not made public. All they know is that Ingenium is no longer a hero. He's pretty much now the disgrace of his family because of the incidents that occurred. They were still trying to mourn Ida. they can get over the loss of Ida, and now, this happens. They can understand why he killed Stain, but yeah. Stain's death is going to be made public, but some people suspect that, Ingenium was injured by him. Ingenium's younger brother was killed by him. Yeah, Ingenium's brother was killed by him. Stain died, and Ingenium lost his license, his hero license, and was, pretty much revoked of any right as a hero, or, the right to become a hero. Quite a few people put the dots together. It kind of makes the news, they're theorizing, of course, but looking at the facts, even if it is the media, everyone pretty much is like, yeah, this is probably true. Ida's family is pretty much now the disgrace of society. They've been completely disgraced because of, well, partially, not completely, because of Ingenium's actions. Some can sympathize. Others are I don't know. There might have been, rival families, because the heroes has been, for their family, that generation after generation has become a hero. So, there's probably quite a few other families that have been like that. So, now I guess one of the oldest hero families has been dismantled. I can't remember if Ida had any siblings other than Ingenium, but yeah. Well, I mean, rip that, but Line of Heroes is now dead. Or killed off in a way, but not actually dead, just metaphorically dead. Which kind of, I guess, would sadden some, especially the family themselves, but it is what it is. Will they ever be able to recover from it? Who knows? I'm just probably gonna leave their family alone after this. They might be invited to Island, but I mean, that's just about it. They might not. Who knows? Anyway, pretty much this kind of happens in the span of, I would say, a month. In the meantime, within that month, which is pretty much before the training camp, in that month, I'm gonna do Island next episode, and which is pretty much what was happening while that was happening. Yeah, I'm kind of switching the sides of the story, mainly sticking to. I'm switching between different perspectives. That's what it's called. This was mostly from the perspective of, Deku, because pretty much Deku, after eventually hearing this a lot about the death of Stain, as well as Darby, Toga, and Spinner, they all go and they kill Ingenium. And in the end, they form their own league of what they consider to be vigilantes, killing fake heroes. Guess Bakugo, again, only has one arm now, and pretty much reports who the hell he is, and they now know Stain's protege as Izuku Midoriya. Anyone that once knew him, actually, there isn't really anyone that knows him, I guess, apart from Kanchan at this point. Maybe some people from middle school, elementary school, preschool. But other than that, none of them know him. pretty much he's gonna start going by the nickname the red-haired assassin, because I was kind of just coming up with something that happened. They have no idea why his hair color changed. They're like, he probably just dyed it to be edgy. But I only made it red to not completely rip off Tokyo Ghoul. Anyway, next time I'll play.
You wanna play bowling?
Sorry, my brand sister being a pain again. Comment your thoughts down below. Next time we'll be doing Island. Please like and subscribe. This is Xoko Anime out.